Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Today we are taking a look at the automatic oiler in a 1983 Homelite XL automatic. This is the diaphragm style oiler that was used in the XL-2, Super 2, and XL automatic. Notwithstanding those few years in the very early 80s that they tried a direct crankcase pulse on some of the XL automatics. This video is not for you guys if you have that system. This is for the diaphragm system, okay? So if you're paying close attention, this has been covered in that longer video. So if you've already watched that longer video, this won't be of a whole lot of use to you unless you're referencing it and you don't want to have to click through and find that spot. That's why I'm doing this. So many times I've done those processes, they're buried in a bigger video and people just don't find them as easily. So we're going to take a comprehensive look at this system, including the diaphragm itself. There's some good stuff in here. Okay. I am cutting myself a hose kit, same as what I would provide you guys in the, is it the FLS1, I believe? I just have cut so many hoses, I know those sizes by heart, which means I have wasted those brain cells, and I can't use them for anything but saws now. And that's going to try and flip oil at me when it comes zinging out of there, so I'm just not going to let it. Bye. Pull that bell end out that way. Goodbye. Look at how much that's deteriorated. No good. No good at all. Let's get this upper one out of the way too. Hey, stop. There we go. I'll show you the duckbill. Man, how ragged that was. I don't think it had a hole in it before I yarded on it like that. But it would have leaked at some point in the not too distant future. Goodbye, nasty hose. And let's see if we can do it one more time. Goodbye, nasty hose. Alright. That looks like a very new sintered tube. So I have to know I guess there's nothing in the bottom. I'm going to give it one more good taparoo. Nope, just oil. Okay. Those tubes aren't growing on trees. If I could recover one, you can be damn certain that I would. Alright. Do the actual pickup hose first. You can use the wire pull method that I've demonstrated on the channel many times. But most of the time, especially on a warm day like today, I can just get it started enough that I can see it down in the tank and grab it. And there she is. Anything I can do to save time these days, I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean taking shortcuts where they're stupid, but something like that, that's not stupid, that's just, I know it'll work, so I'm going to do it. This upper one can be just a little bit tight. The good news is, with an angle cut like I put on the hoses, it's real easy to see it down in there because it's near the top. You don't have to do a whole lot of fighting. Several functions in this video are going to become their own small, short sub-videos. So some of you that watch these religiously are going to go, wait a minute, I've seen that. And you'll be right, but so many times I've done this stuff and it's buried under a title that no one's going to find it. You guys see what I just did? I had to quit yapping. And put it on the right side. Having the duckbill outside of the tank isn't going to do me or you a bit of good. Other than maybe, for those of you that saw that before I did, a damn good laugh. Alright. Always leave a gap. That allows pressure to bleed off. Why would you want that? Well, when the saw's not running, you don't want it to hold pressure in there. Alright. I'm going to get this down and in. Boom. Alright, proper hose routing. And it's real easy to get this goobered up. Your oil pump diaphragm is doing two things. It is pressurizing your oil tank, and at the bottom of the stroke, it's also pushing oil out this way. So, under the cover, under the diaphragm, there's an impulse port from the crankcase going up. So, that's how you've got to remember which goes where. Your upper hose is your tank pressure hose. That's why it's got the duckbill on it. So you want that over at as close to the pump as possible. That way, as that diaphragm's moving, it's going to be pushing air into the tank. The duckbill will open as air is pushing in and then close as the pressure releases from the diaphragm side. Okay, that way it pressurizes the tank and forces some oil up here to the pump. So it's really kind of a dual action type pump. Which means by default, your oil feed line is going to go right here. And the way to remember that is it's closest to the discharge line. If you reverse these, you will have a non-functioning oil pump. And you will have a mosquito fogger. Because you will be drawing oil into the engine. And it'll run. It won't run well. And you'll hate running it. Because it will smoke like the worst barbecue you've ever been around. It'll smoke kind of like a worn out Ford diesel. Or some jackass that set their truck up to roll coal. No, I'm not a fan of that. Alright, so there it is. Though that is the correct routing of hoses on a diaphragm style oil pump on these little saws. Now, because we have time, or because I'm going to make the time, I think we'll go ahead and pop this cover off too. And that way this part of this will cover the entire oil system. Now I'm going to cheat and leave the sprocket in place. Or at least I'm going to try to. I've done it before. I know it can be done. The question is, can it be done while I'm on video and telling you guys that it can be done? Okay, you get the 3 screws out. Now you just want to pop it loose. Somehow, without tearing the gasket. Alright. Now that didn't do what I wanted it to do. You see that? It's stuck to the cover. I want the cover to come out independently. So let's see if we can carefully release it. There we go. There's a spring right there. Don't lose that. And then you're going to get to the edge of the drum and you're just going to flex it out. Alright. Now I'm glad we opened this up. Do you think there's supposed to be all that crap in there? And the answer to that is no. There is not supposed to be any crap in there. Why it's there, I don't know. There's a definite buildup and it's gooey. It's kind of disgusting. Makes me wonder if there isn't a buildup of crap in the crankcase. So while this is open, you want to clean that out as best you can. Clean both sides of your diaphragm. Now be careful that you don't tear this, being too rough with it. Okay, now that the aftermarket ones are available, that's nice, but we don't know how long those are going to last and how long they're going to be available. So if you've got an original that isn't effed, don't screw it up. That's perfectly flexible. Okay, there's nothing wrong with, is there? Oh, I'm so glad we looked at this. Look what's happening here, folks. The upper layer of rubber has dissolved. This saw had stale fuel that leaked down in. That's the scrim of the diaphragm that's left there. Oh, that's disappointing. It's not totally shot, though. But there's definitely a top layer. That's what I found. That's what was dissolved down there. I can't in good conscience put that back in. Damn. Okay, so we're going to use a new diaphragm. Slip that gasket down there real quick. That looks pretty good. I want to clean this out. Now, it is common for there to be crap on this side because this is an atmospheric vent. So if your saw is full of sawdust and grease and garbage, it's going to be full of grease and garbage right here. Like I say, it has to vent to the outside in order to allow movement. Okay, so just the way it came out, you just do your little wiggle waggle, little coercion. Don't bend that rod. Well, preferably your gasket doesn't move like mine just did. And you got to get it behind the sawdust shield here. There we go. I believe you son of a gun. Lay flat. Must have been slightly twisted laying in the sitting in the package. You're in that drawer. So your spring small side down against the diaphragm. And then, if you're being lazy like me, you just kind of push it down, sneak it past that clutch drum. Oh, and there she goes. I know it seems stupid, but those kind of time savers, if you work on enough of these things, you start doing them, and they work. So, why not? I like to get them all started so that I know the gasket is aligned and that I'm not cross-threading anything. The way that felt kind of goofy. There it goes. So most of the time I do not take these off. Because most of the time there's nothing wrong with them. But I just had a suspicion this time. I wanted to know where all the oil was coming from, and I may know now. That destruction of the rubber layer that left the scrim behind may have been enough to allow oil on a hot day to push past that and leak out that atmospheric vent and down into the bottom of the case. That may be why that was so greasy in there. But anyway, that is a complete look at one of these diaphragm pressure oiling systems. Okay, there you go. That was a deeper dive than I'd intended. Didn't think I was going to be going near a diaphragm. I don't very often. 1 out of 20 saws, I would say, I actually have to screw around with a diaphragm and do something with it. So I'm glad in this case I got everything captured into one video. We got hose routing, diaphragm replacement, some of the symptoms of when it's gone bad. Not bad. Hope this video helped. We'll catch you guys on the next one.